Hello YouTube, come with me on this journey as I work on leveling my yard. This is part 2 of this process. If you haven't watched the first part, please go watch the first video to view the progression that we've made. First, we're starting off with Miracle-Gro garden soil. Then we're going to mix sand. The sand we're using is called play sand, and it can be found at any big box store. I know you may be wondering what are those white spots on the lawn. I'll explain here shortly. Earlier that day, I walked through my lawn and marked all the low spots. I had some extra house paint laying around, so I just poured a little bit in a box and used a plastic bag to give myself some sort of road map. This white paint will help me remember where the majority of the soil needs to be placed and where are the deepest divvies in the yard. So what we're going to do here is simply dump the soil directly onto the cement pad. If you're in the middle of your yard, you can use a piece of plywood or simply dump it directly onto the ground. And then you're going to want to add your sand. We're looking for a close ratio, 50-50, 60-40. You want to get it as close as possible. One thing that the sand does is it makes the soil mixture much lighter and easier to move. It's not as heavy, it's not as dense. So it's good for a few things. It's good for drainage. So when it rains or when you water your lawn, it allows that water to get down to the root to the grass root and allows that grass to grow much healthier. However, still keeping that integrity of the soil allows the grass root to catch on to something that will allow it to grow. So simply just walk through your lawn, spread the soil out on all the low spots that you marked out. Take your time, there's no rush. And when you're out there, you can kind of massage it into the grass with your foot, with the shovel. If you have a push broom, you can use a push broom. It all works the same. The key here is to ensure that you're working it down between the grass, because you want that grass to pop up from under that mixture there. Continue to work it in. You may have to go over it 3 or 4 times. That's fine. The more you go over it, the more it will blend into the ground and raise that grade up to where you need it to be. So when you're doing a project like this, you have to remember, whenever you have uneven lawn surfaces, especially more than like 1 to 2 or even 3 inches, you have to have some type of topsoil. Reason being, you'll see a lot of videos and a lot of information out there to use sand to level your lawn. However, sand is not an organic material. Grass will not grow from sand. So the only thing that grass will grow from is dirt, soil, topsoil, potting soil, something of that nature, along with some type of seeding. You want to start with a 100% organic topsoil or 100% organic potting soil, and you just want to go through and fill in those big holes. Doesn't have to be perfect. You can just dump it there, smear it around with your hand, with your foot, with a shovel, with a push broom. At this point, a leveling rake really isn't going to help because the holes are just that deep. Now, once you get to a respectable level, you're maybe like a 1/2 inch or 1 inch off, then you can begin to use the sand, because the grass roots would already have been curating under the ground, and they'll be able to poke through the sand properly. So this is my second time doing this leveling project. First time, 100% topsoil, filled in all the big holes. Second time, I did like a 50-50 mix of topsoil and play sand. Depending on the settling over the next 3 weeks will show me if I need to do another 50-50 blend, or if I'm safe to just do maybe like a 80-20, 80 being sand, 20% topsoil. My assumption is I'm going to have to do one more 50-50 play sand topsoil mix, and then I can probably do a final 100% or 90-10 sand topping with the leveling rake. But I'm no professional here. I'm just someone who does some research and use common sense. And common sense tells me using 100% sand is not sufficient when you have large peaks and valleys, because grass does not grow through sand. If you think about it, if you go to the beach, you never see grass growing through the sand at the beach. But you see it farther up the ocean shore where the soil or the land meets. So that's just my 2 cents. I will keep you guys privy to my progress here, and I appreciate you watching.